All right, welcome everyone once again. My name is Christopher Mthenga. I am from the Community Media Support Services. It's great to have you once again talking all things digital, all things AI. We are from the Community Media Support Services. If you have not subscribed and you appreciate our work, please go to our website and select the free subscription that gives you access to free training that we conduct every second Monday at 10 o'clock for 1 hour. Today, we're going to be talking about Perplexity, one of the many great AI tools that you can use to integrate into your newsroom to help with productivity. But also, before we start, I'd like to emphasize that in every single AI tool that you integrate into your newsroom and your workflow, you need to have a human oversight. With all AI tools, they are not there to replace journalism, they are not there to replace people. All they are there to do is to help you as a tool with your productivity. So before we begin, once again, I'd like to emphasize the ethical use of AI tools. Make sure that you apply with the press code, make sure that you have a human oversight in all that you do, and ensure that you are responsible for what you publish. If you publish the wrong things that are not fact checked, that are not fair, that are not responsible, you, as the publisher, are responsible for what you publish. So let's get straight into it. Perplexity is similar to all the other chat GPTs and other AI tools that you may have been exposed to. All you need to do is to go to perplexity.ai. It will ask you how you would like to log in. I so happen to be logged in. You would then follow the prompts. I normally like to log in with my Gmail account because it is synced with my cell phone, allowing me to keep the persona that I keep on feeding the AI tool to go and become consistent, whether either I'm on the road using my cell phone and using Perplexity, or whether I am on my desktop or my computer using Perplexity. So similar to the previous video that we did about ChatGPT, all these AI tools need to learn your personality. You need to see them as an intern or as an extension of your newsroom. It is a tool in actual fact, and you need to use it as such. So, Perplexity has got so many tools that are available on it and the free version of it as well. But I'd like to go through step by step how you can use it. And I will always be referencing ChatGPT and also as we go on with the other AI tools, I'll be referencing Perplexity, or I'll be referencing Claude, or Gemini, or Notebook LM. So, with all these chat bots or these chat platforms, you have to be conversational. You have to be able to prompt it, and your prompting becomes better as you use these tools over time. Prompting is similar to you being a manager and speaking to an employee. Whatever information you feed the employee, you need to understand it and then apply their mind to give you the right response. Once they give you the right response, or once they give you the work that you've asked them to do, you need to assess it to see if it meets the quality standards of your newsroom or your business. It is very important to make sure that you do not just take what they give you, then you need to interrogate it and make sure that you send it back so that they can improve. When they improve, your quality of content, the quality of productivity, or quality of products become better as well. And you need not to just take the first response. So let's take a look at what Perplexity has to offer. And I love this tool, by the way. It's one of my favorite. I use it all the time. So Perplexity has got a home tab. It also has a tab called Discover and also Spaces and Library. All right. So the home tab is pretty much the same as what you would use on ChatGPT. You give it a prompt, do something for me, then they will do something. The AI tool will do something. It'll give you a response. Go to Discover. Discover is very interesting because what it does, it actually crawls all the various news platforms and also all the various spaces on the internet and gives you a result of things without you prompting it. So I like to always start here just to see what's happening around either, the top articles that are happening, what's happening, as you can see, the US tariffs, You can see a couple of international content going on there. It's good to just have a quick glance over what's happening. If you're in the tech space, you can see what other developments are happening there. It's really good. Finance, let's look at what arts, and you can see some couple of other things happening there in sports as well. And as you can see, it's pretty much referencing a lot of international platforms. So at times it might not really be relevant. As you use Perplexity, it also tends to remember what you're into and also pretty much ranks those things for you as well. The other function of Perplexity, you can look at it as a Google on steroids. All right. I know it's a very bad example, but with Google, sometimes you'd say, how do I bake a cake? Right. So you can do something similar to Perplexity, as it gives you the kind of prompts before you even write it down. So let's just do the cake situation. How do I bake? And as you can see, it's giving me options here: baked potatoes, chicken breast, etc. A and there we go. And there's a cake, right? So let me click on that just to show you an example. So now you can see it's giving me various options. It's giving me also some references to some recipes and also some video clips as well. But it's giving me a recipe by itself. And this is what happens pretty much with most of these AI tools is they then tell you this is how you do it. This is whereas when it comes to search engines, as an example, they give you references of different places where you can find more options. In this case, it's not really a newsroom related conversation. I can always go and start a new thread by clicking on the new thread. So in this case, so let's do an example of how I would use Perplexity for a newsroom. Similar to ChatGPT, I would then ask it for a prompt and I would use exactly the same prompt as I used with ChatGPT. So I'd say, hi, please give me the top ranking stories in the news for today. All right, so it'll give me what's ranking in the news, pretty much what you feed it is what it's going to come out with. As you can see over here, it's giving me international news, and I can see here it's not really that relevant to me. In this case, I will then go and say, please focus on South Africa. Let's start there. Africa. All right. So this is pretty much what you would do in any case when you go and check what's happening. Uh, and you might not have story angles, you might not have heard anything on the ground. And then you can see there's some kind of national news going on over there. Nothing that I'm really interested in this particular case. So I'm say focus on Victoria and um, let's just do that. Focus on Pretoria. Let's have a look at that. So now it's telling us about the national shutdown march. So I have to check my sources for that, Citizen, and we can see that SABC News is also being cited here as a source. So there's also some police operations. I can see here some local news and events. Pretoria FM, I see something's going on there. I can see this is definitely from Pretoria FM directly. All right, I'm actually interested here in police operation, and I can see there's some activity happening in Acacia, and also I can see some Pretoria North going on there. Let's see where this is coming from. This is coming from Pretoria News itself. So let's just have a look at this. Please expand. All right, so I'm going to go and say share in more information about this. All right, so now I'm copying and pasting what it's shared with me, and it's unpacking pretty much what's going on around the actual operations that are happening with the police in these areas. And in this case, I can see it's pretty much summarized what would have been in this article, but in this case, I actually want to do my own research to find a little bit more. So here I am now on one of the community newspapers websites, and I can see some photos. I can read a little bit more about what's going on there. But anyway, this is pretty much what you would do as part of your research. So now you say to yourself, okay, I've got a contact that I need to make contact with at the police department or police station. to give you more insight as to what's happening. Now, that's not really about, it's not really stealing an article, it's really trying to find your own angle about what's going on. So in this case, you would use Perplexity in that way. You can also draft some first copies. You can ask it to give you story angles, and also it will give you different story angles, similar to what ChatGPT can do as well. But in this case, I'd like to move on to Spaces. Now, Spaces is very interesting because it allows you to upload some documents that you would like analyzed, as an example. So I would like to just put this one as documents, right? So I'm just organizing my uh, budgetary related. So I'm just organizing my space. Okay, I can give a description, etc. And then now what I would like to do is I actually want to upload a document. In this case, I'm going to go and upload a document. Um, Let me just quickly go and upload a document, AI training. Let us go with training. All right, so let us upload a budget speech from the Western Cape. Let's have a look at what it does. All right, so unlike other platforms like Claude, when you give it a very huge document, it asks you to upgrade or asks you to do to pretty much go to a different plan. Please um, analyze this document. You can also do spell check, by the way, but analyze this document and give me the top 5 items that would be relevant for the community of Langa. All right. So let's have a look at what it does. Okay. So now it's taken that Western Cape document is over there. It's analyzing it and it's coming up with a couple of things, top 5, and it's looking at infrastructure investment, it's looking at allocation of municipalities, safety and crime. So this is pretty much zoning it into the Ilanga community and what they would be interested in. So in this case, so I think let's go into this topic over here, which is around the economic growth and jobs. Please can you look into this topic? Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste that topic. Yeah, all right. And please draft a first draft article as our journalist to look at how this will impact the community. The style of writing needs to be one that is informative and educational in a sense of informing them about informing for me them about this budget. All right. So now I've pretty much given it a prompt. It's very straightforward. It's giving me a headline that is related to the prompt that I've given it. And as you can see here, it's referencing the budget speech by the person, emphasizing stimulating the growth. And it's also looking at things like communities like Yolanda as an example, meaning that others might also fall within this scope. Now, it's highlighting a couple of things. Obviously, this might not be the kind of writing style or the kind of way that you would unpack an article, but it's giving me pretty much the skeleton of what I can focus on. It's referencing percentages that are from the document, which is great. This is not a very complex document, but I'm just showing you an example of how you can take a document like that, which you might not have necessarily read in its entirety. It is important for you to exercise the human oversight before you publish. You make sure that you go and reference these things. You go and read the paragraph that it's been mentioned in. And also you make sure that nothing here is incorrect. Now you can see that it's unpacking a little bit more. And obviously this might not be the style of your newspaper. And then now what you can do, you can prompt it a little bit more and say, great, now please format this article in an article style without bullet bullet points and simplify the article to a level of a grade 12 reader. All right. So now I'm pretty much giving it a scope of work to say. It's using bullet points again, which you need to correct. Um, and it's simplified it quite a bit. Now I'm going to say, please don't use bullet points. Use sentences instead. All right. Now, and you can see there now, it's really unpacking it, coming closer to what I wanted to go to. Still referencing the percentages, the impacts, looking at the of more projections for 2026, and it's sectionalizing it in the context. So it's also including this part here, which I hate, which is at the end in conclusion, right? So now it's a great. This is a start. Please remove all section headers and let the copy flow. Now, I'm refining it more, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I will copy and paste this as is. It allows me now to have a kind of clear understanding of where I need to go. It does not have my flair in terms of writing. It does not use perhaps some certain lingo, not really lingo, but certain phrases that I would use, understanding my community and my previous writing. But it pretty much gives me a kind of a solid skeleton to work with here. Now I'll say, okay, fine, this is great. Is give me an SEO, which is search engine optimization, ready headline that is including the core community lang. Right now, because you're a community newspaper, you want to always reference pretty much the place that you are, in your headline to help it reach people, to help people identify this as a community article, and it's particularly for them. And it's not really about just a breakdown of the whole budget in its entirety. Now it's giving me some headlines, and I think longer to benefit. I like that maybe for maybe a newspaper headline, and then also, some kind of like sub-headline suggestions there as well. I would use that in that way. Okay, I was thinking, but just be okay. Well, this one is not. It's really broad. It will be pulled up by some other platforms. I like this. I like this one here. Please use this one and include budget. Okay. Now, I'm using that same headline, language benefits, is now saying analyzing 2025 Western Cape budget, impacts on community jobs, kids including jobs, which I like. And it's pretty much, I think, would be a good enough headline for an article. As you can see, I've used Perplexity to import a PDF document. It was long to read. It's dumbed it down in a sense of simplifying the context and also of and the first draft that allows me then to then unpack and put my human into it when I start writing this article. Now you can copy paste into your Word document, you can play around with it a little bit more, and then you can also make sure that it fits your editorial style. Now, this is how you can work efficiently. Within just a period of 15 to 30 minutes, I was able to have a concept, have an angle, and obviously in this case here, I don't have any quotes from certain people. It's really a breakdown of the budget, and also kind of know which area I need to focus in. And if I really want to do some good work, I'll go and read this particular areas or go and reference other budgets as well. I don't want to go and put that in here because it's not my input. I would then say compared to the previous year's budget or the previous 5 years budget, how has this budget improved? Now, if you are using the word how, assuming that it would know how, but if it's really data driven and the information is about the facts, it will tell you pretty much whether the previous year was lower or higher in particular areas. So you want to not really ask these AI tools for their opinion because they tend to hallucinate at times. They also tend to be biased. So it's important to input the documents in, help it analyze, then you be the one putting the human oversight, putting the human into the article, and ensuring that whatever you're asking it, it's giving you what you can work with in improving it. So, in this perplexity, in a nutshell, I don't have much time to actually go through all the other tools that it has to offer. But top tools I really like to focus on is pretty much that of interrogating it, just like you would do with ChatGPT. Use Discover to help it show you what's going on, and also remembering that it almost works like a search engine, helping you with different prompts without you having to go and think up prompts by yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Please make sure you subscribe and also make sure that you go to our website and sign up for our free subscription that allows you to have more training in this space. So, in a nutshell, we will see you on our next video. Thank you.